Viewers at home should be prepared to go through the full range of emotions from this survey. Optimism and pessimism, happiness and sadness. Let's get to the data. The 12th year in a row we've done this. This is our holiday survey. Economic optimism plunging. We were at record levels in October. 48% of the public was optimistic now and optimistic for the future. This is the single biggest quarterly decline we have seen in optimism in our survey in the 12 years we've been doing this. Go back, it's now 39%. Go back to the beginning of the Trump presidency where it was just 20%. So we've held on to a lot of the gains, but gave up a bunch of it in this quarter here. And the percentage of Americans saying they're pessimistic now and pessimistic for the future ticking up and taking out that low from December 2016. Now, let's look at why that is. Expectations for gains in home values decline, for gains in wages decline, and the percentage of Americans saying it's a good time to invest also decline. So those three economic factors that we track quarter to quarter, all three of those pillars of economic confidence did go down in terms of gains that are expected. This knocked on, it reflected on the president's economic approval rating. He had been at 51% for 2 quarters running. Now he's down below that to 48%. 800 American polls around the country, margin of error 3.5%. So that's just right inside that margin of error. But you can see here also the disapproval on the economy went up from 38 to 42%. But it had no effect at all on his overall presidential approval rating. That remained right at 41%, just about where he has been his entire presidency. At the same time, holiday spending plans surged. We've never seen numbers like this. First time in 12 years over $1,000, all the way up to $1,100 compared to the forecast last year of $900. And you can see what's inside that. Take a look. Why? Well, because currently, people are saying they're going to spend more because they have more income. So the difference between the beginning of this thing where we talked about the outlook, it's about the outlook for those things. But what's in people's pockets right now, that seems to be motivating them to spend. And one nice little thing here, the spending spree Americans are about to embark upon looks to be bipartisan. When we went from 16 to 17, all of the optimism about more spending was among Republicans, where 69% were going to spend more. But now look here. It's both Republican and Democrat, where both plan to go out and spend with some abandon, Becky, this holiday season.
Hey, Steve, when you look at that, the real numbers of what people are planning on spending versus optimism or lack of optimism, does it really matter when it comes to consumer confidence on these issues or not? Or is it really what they're doing, not what they're saying?
First of all, from an economic standpoint, it matters what they're doing rather than what they're saying. There is some correlation. The less optimistic you are about the economy, the less you're going to spend, and vice versa. However, we have seen situations, and the greatest example of that, Becky, if you can remember back in the post-9/11 period where confidence in America absolutely plunged, what happened to car sales? They absolutely surged. So we have situations where you can have these declines in confidence. It could be a fright from the decline in the stock market. It could be some of the headlines we've seen now, and the political headlines could be knocking confidence off. I will say, though, that Republicans are more equally confident. The decline in confidence looks to be more among the independents and Democrats here.